Welcome on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Welcome to Randall's weather page. Do me a favor right at the beginning, go down, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell to make sure that you are in the know when I put up a video. If you're one of the first to know, you're looking at me right now on Randall's weather page on YouTube. You can also find me on Randall's weather page on Facebook, and you can also find me at Randall's weather page on Twitter. Try to keep it simple so you know exactly where I'm at. But please subscribe, like, share with your friends, share with your family. Good information, not hype, but just good information. Today, once again, we're talking about the tropics. So let's get an update. I wanted to go over this from Philip Klotzbach, again. This is through the 29th. 2020 observed, 1981 through 2010 average hurricane season, and then 2020 compared to the average. Right now, 13 named storms we've had. The average is 14.6, 283% up your normal year. Named storm days is 38.25 compared to 17.2 on a normal year, up 222%. Hurricanes, 4. Normal's about 2, up 211%. I'm going to drop all the way down here. Accumulated cyclone energy. All right, this is exactly how I judge a hurricane season, whether it is busy or whether it is slow or whether it is average. Accumulated cyclone energy. Each system has energy attached to it. The stronger that the system gets, the more accumulated energy that it has. So if you take the 13 named storms, they have produced 42 on the ACE scale, compared to normally would just be 25. So 168%. So yes, the season is up. This is how you could have 13 tropical storms and still have a very low ACE index. But if you have 4 hurricanes and one of those hurricanes becomes major, then you've had a bigger season. So the accumulated cyclone energy, or ACE, is what I look at to gauge a season. Can't talk, and definitely 168% above normal compared to the normal hurricane season. This is my MGO forecast. Okay, so MGO, Madden-Julian oscillation. The blues is rising air. That rising air helps to give storms lift, give clouds lift, and generate storms. Your reds and browns is sinking air. That is sinking air, and it kind of puts a damper on storms building. So this is today, and as you can tell, in the Caribbean over to Africa is where the rising air, where storms are being aided by the MGO. This is September 1st through the 7th. Notice the sinking air is moving into the Gulf of Mexico, the Western Caribbean, and starting to move into the main development area, which is in between Africa and the islands. And then you notice week 2 forecast. This is the middle of September, the 8th through the 14th. We've got a lot of sinking air that is over the main development region. Now, this is good because it's already been an active season. This doesn't curtail all of the hurricane formation, tropical storm formation. It doesn't curtail it. It's not as great as an atmospheric condition to be in as when it's rising air. Okay, but notice this moves from west to east. So what's over Africa today, week 1, will be moving into the Indian Ocean and over China and Australia. Notice how it keeps moving to the east. Now we're out into the Pacific. So week 3 will be closer to the rising air getting close. So the middle towards the end of September, your MGO, your rising air, is going to be back over the main development region again, or getting close to the main development region again. So I say all that to say this, maybe a little damper during the height of the hurricane season, but this MGO coming back over week 3 and 4 suggests that the end of September, the beginning of October could be an active part again, a very hyperactive part again. So just because it might slow down just a little bit in the next couple of weeks does not mean that the hurricane season is over. Far from it. Let's look at what's going on specifically today. The National Hurricane Center just upgraded this to a depression number 15, right off the East Coast. You have, this is Invest 99. So 99 is still has a 70% chance over the next 5 days to become a depression or more. There was a small chance earlier today for this area, and the National Hurricane Center has dropped it. And then the wave that is coming off Africa right now is at 0% right now, but they have a 30% chance of it developing within the next 3 to 5 days out here. Okay? Let's go over and let's take a look at the total precipitable water. Now, the reason why I love total precipitable water is because you can really see the spin start to happen with storms. And I want to show you. Let's go over to depression number 15. Look at that spin right there. You can see it start. You start to see the spin right there. So that spin shows you why the National Hurricane Center upgraded this to a depression now. You can see the spin in the water. You can see the low-level spin starting to happen. So that's why this has become Tropical Depression 15. Invest 99, you can still see it spinning. This is why there's a 70% chance that this develops into a tropical system going within the next 3 to 5 days. This is one area that the Hurricane Center was looking at. Notice no spin, so they say no on this. And then right here is number 3, waiting for it to get off Africa a little bit more, but this is what they have, the 30% in the next 5 days of building. But I just love precipitable water because you can see the spin. You can see the spin starting to develop. Okay? All right. Let's go into satellite view. Here's your depression. Now, what you saw on precipitable water, you do not see very much. It doesn't look that great on the satellite. You can see a little bit of the twist. It's a small twist. It's up here at the very top. You can start to see that small twist right there. But that's your depression number 15. This has much better organization of storms around it, but it is still elongated. It still has that southwest to northeast tilt to it. So it's still more of a tropical wave, but as we saw from the precipitable water, let's go back and look at it. That would be right here. You still have that spin that's still there. So it still has a chance, a high chance of becoming at least a depression. And we'll look at where it could go. This is the area that they were looking at, nothing much. Here we go. Here's this area right here that we'll be looking at over the next 3 to 5 days. All right, let's look at shear. Okay, this is upper level shear. The greens is favorable. And this shows you the knots. Okay, so where Invest 99 is, not a lot of shear. Not a lot of shear out in front. Seems to be almost calm, so it's in the green. Yellows are neutral, okay? And then your reds are unfavorable. So out here, unfavorable. Let's get our bearings. Here's the Yucatan Peninsula. Here's Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and the East Coast, where Depression 15 is. Not a lot of shear, but this is what it's about to run into. Whole bunch of shear right here. And you notice just one little line right here. One little area right here that doesn't have a lot of shear. So this has a chance to ramp up, but it's going to go out. We'll call this one a fish storm, and I'll show you here in a second. Steering patterns, upper level steering patterns. High pressure right here. So whatever's under the high pressure follows this track. Whatever's coming on top of the high pressure follows this track. So depression 15, you see which track it's probably going to take from the upper level steering patterns, so upper level wind patterns here. You see what's going to take right there. So it has just a small window for it to develop, and then it's going to be raced either up to the pole or it's going to race up and around, and won't be much. Okay, here is 99L. Notice its steering pattern. Its steering pattern is right into the Yucatan Peninsula. Right into the Yucatan Peninsula as of right now. So you see why the models pick up and move this into the Yucatan Peninsula, or you'll see. Tropical Depression 15. Here's the 5 p.m. maximum sustained winds, 35 miles per hour, moving northeast at 12 miles per hour. Notice here's that high, the Bermuda high. It's going right over that Bermuda high. It's exactly where it's taking it right now. So let's look at the spaghetti models. This is your spaghetti models. Notice how most of them move it off to the northeast. You have two that try to wrap it back around, but that would have to be the high pressure building up and then blocking it back around towards Florida. I just don't see that happening. That high pressure is going to stay in this area right here. It's going to move over the top of that high pressure. So that is depression number 15. Let's take a look. This is a water vapor. Whoop. This is the water vapor. It's not moving. It should be, but it's not. But this is 99L. Notice there's dry air out in front of it, dry air over the Yucatan Peninsula, dry air over the Northeast Caribbean into the Atlantic, and then dry air behind it. So this still has a chance to push this dry air out and gets better organized. This could become a tropical depression and even a tropical storm before it hits the Yucatan Peninsula. Here's the area they were looking at that's dissipated, and then the other area right here that they're viewing for 3 to 5 days out, and depression number 15. Here are the spaghetti models for 99L. Notice how most of them take them into Central America. And if you look at a lot of the models, they take it into Central America, it reemerges out in the Pacific, and it actually becomes a tropical storm or hurricane out in the Pacific. This happens all the time in hurricane seasons, where the storms will either break north and go into the Gulf. They'll just continue on a path and hit Yucatan and Mexico, or they'll go through Central America, reemerge in the Pacific, and become something in the Pacific. So that's what we imagine 99L. It will develop a little bit more, become a depression, maybe even a tropical storm, but go into Central America, reemerge out in the Pacific, and live its second life out there. All right, that is what I have for you for a quick update today. In the comments, you tell me on 99L on this one, do you believe 99L will go into Central America and reemerge in the Pacific? Do you think it takes a more northerly route and then comes out into the Gulf of Mexico? Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. We'll run it by. We'll talk about it. We'll see you. Thanks, guys. Bye.